So here we are, ready to solve the second problem of your homework. And I would like to check it with you in this short video because, as you remember, a lot of people had problems on the installation of pseint. So to help you a little bit more understand how to use it, let's analyze it in this video with the second problem, right? So step one would be, as an advice, read carefully the problem and identify which is going to be your input, the things to calculate, and the things to show at the end, right? I mean, input, process, and output. So, as input, it says that we're going to ask for the time that a competitor spends on swimming, biking, and running, right? In this triathlon. Okay. Then we're going to calculate a total time, okay? And we're going to pass it to hours and minutes and show it as a result, okay? So, to do this, let's start. Let's go to pseint, and here we're going to start saying, well, I prefer to edit it in a flowchart, but if you want, you can also edit here as an algorithm. In case that you still can't fix using flowcharts, you can make your solutions as algorithms and then just verify the flowchart. Okay? So, let's start here. And I'm going to say I assign a name to this process. So, to edit something, a shape, you double click it and then you can type in it. So, this process will be named problem 2 in my case, right? Then I start with a shape of output with the arrow going outside of the flow, okay? Where I'm going to ask enter the swim time, okay? And then I include a shape of input to receive this time in the variable swim, okay? We do the same exactly with an output to ask for the time of run time, okay, and another input box to receive this in the variable run, right? Whenever your flowchart is growing so much and you want to adjust the zoom, you have that option in this menu. Is the first option that says auto ajustar zoom, okay, and it reduces the size of your flowchart here in the screen. So I'm going to include another output shape. You drag drop it here to ask for the bike time, okay? And then we include an input shape to receive that in the variable bike. So at this moment we have finished with the input of data. Now we need to include the calculation that goes in a rectangle, in a process shape, right? We assign it there and we're going to get a total time that will be equal than what? Than the addition of swim plus run plus bike. After this calculation, we need to also calculate the time in hours and in minutes. So that goes in another process right here to get hours, okay, or I'm going to say time hours, right? And I need another process to calculate time minutes. Yep. To calculate the time in hours, you have it in the document that we need to, as we need to use an integer division, right? We're going to use this function trunc in pseint, okay? So I'm going to say time hours will be equal than trunc, this is to perform an integer division, okay, of total divided by 60. I mean the total minutes by 60 minutes. That will give us how many hours are included in that total time, right? Then, to calculate the time in minutes, what we need to do is get the remainder of the same division, I mean total time divided by 60, but the remainder of that, right? So we can do that specifying total time in minutes will be equal than total mode 60. Okay, it's important that you leave some spaces here, right? So that pseint understands that this is an operator. Okay. Great, now we're ready to display, so we're going to include a shape to display, and in this shape we're going to include a mix of messages and variables. Messages, remember, go in quotations, so I'm going to say the total time in quotations, then a comma, and I include the variable, well, I'm going to say the total time, sorry, is, okay, and I leave a space there. Then comma, and I include time hours, I mean the variable time hours, comma, another message that says hours, okay, right, comma, and then the variable time min, and to finish a last message that says minutes, okay. Yeah. Let's see now. If we want to execute this flowchart, okay, here it starts. You go to menu, ejecutar, and here you have it. Enter the swim time. In the document you have some test data, so swim time is 17 minutes. Then run time is 28, okay, according to the document. And bike time is 40 minutes. Okay. Our flowchart is saying the total time is 1 hour and 25 minutes. That corresponds to the expected display or output of this test data as it is included in the problem, right? So we're done. We can close this execution window and return to the flowchart. Okay. Here we can auto adjust the sum and say guardar imagen in case that you want to save this image as a file, okay? I mean an image file. You assign the name that you want, for example, problem2, the same, and I save it, but this is just the image. If what you want is save the flowchart, I mean to reopen it in pseint, what you need to do is close this window, the window of the flowchart, return to the window of the algorithm, and see what a beauty, we have the algorithm there with all the steps that we included in the flow, right? So from here we can say file and we say guardar. Okay, you assign a name here. I'm going to say this is problem2, the same at desktop as it is, and I click on save. And that is the way that in my desktop I'm going to find, let me see, the problem2 PNG, I mean the image of the flowchart, and problem2 PSC, that is a file that we can reopen in pseint. Okay, so we're done for this problem. You just need to copy paste everything in here. Okay, I'm going to insert the picture from file. That is problem2 PNG. I say insert, and you need to copy paste also the algorithm, right? It doesn't respect the numbers, so I'm going to take a screenshot and I paste it there. Okay, that's it basically. Okay, so we're done with problem 2. I hope this helps you to clarify the way to use pseint, I mean, sorry. And just in case that you still have any issue, please send me a mail. Okay, bye bye, see you next class.